for the feedback. Hold on. There we go. Ricker, welcome. 2026. Thank you, Ricker. That's a gift. We appreciate that, man. Member Ricker Creations over there in Tennessee. That's a cool looking gift, man. I would like that one too. Oh, Summer's in here. She wants me to throw some rawhide. I'll let Ricker decide. Should I give the dog some rawhide? That I got up here. I got some like put aside that I got some rawhide put aside. It's a little bit dried, but I think that they'll like it. Here you go, Toad. Might be all I got laying around too. They've depleted my rawhide supply. Depleting my rawhide supply. Yes, always give the dog rawhide. See, good answer, Ricker. I would have expected that from you. Welcome everybody. I'm going to start today by working a little bit on this tanning. I have to scrape some stuff, and then how I'm going to go from there is I've got this axe head here, or this hatchet head. I'm going to craft a handle for this. I have a big chunk of cherry that I laminated a while back. I think I'm going to cut the handle out of that. I like Heather's kind of design for it. It's got like a little bit of a fluke. I won't call it a taper because it's reversed. It'll flute out a little bit at the bottom. I think it'll give it some balance. I'm thinking like right in this area, 12 to 14 inches. That's probably good. These are millimeters, these are centimeters here. So I can kind of divide by 3.
Ricker said I have 2 dogs and somewhere between 15 and 20 cats.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, you're right. You're right where we are, Ricker.
Get more dogs.
We can relate. Less dogs. We have less dogs, guys. Well, no. You have less dogs. We have like the same amount of cats, more dogs. Thank you. Make sure everybody double tap that screen, like this video, as you just saw. But that's what I'm going to do. So also, I wanted to just give a special shout out if Wes is in the gallery, how beautiful this knife is that he made for me. I want to know what the handle's made of. I think it's chestnut, which makes it even more special. So shout out to Wes. Beautiful knife. We're going to get this thing a nice sharp edge on it. That's another task that I have. And then I have this beautiful hand-forged chisel also that I need to make a handle for. Now, the problem with this is I've never done a mechanical bond in terms of making a handle and attaching it with 2-part epoxy, which is the way you would make a handle that's going to take a lot of stress. So I need to do a little research on that, I think, but see how cool that thing is. No mice anywhere left in my house, says Ricker. Yeah, man, it better not be. I feel like they're not doing their job or they're getting overfed if there are. But anyways, thank you to Wes for this beautiful knife. I do want to know what this handle is made of. And we're going to sharpen that edge. These have to be sharpened a bit too. I don't know how much I want to sharpen this. I kind of want it a little dull. And then this, I have to work on how am I going to attach the handle. And then the tang on a chisel or any kind of blade, right? The tang has to kind of be all the way through whatever the handle is. If it comes up short of what the handle is general, this is something I know a little bit about this. Watched enough Forge and Fire. The tang needs to be long enough to basically be held completely in the handle. So this would be kind of a short-handled chisel. But first of all, it's going to be awesome. I want to possibly make the thing with this, some of the thing with this, but right now I'll probably sharpen up something I got and we'll go with that. But these are made out of spring steel so they can take a hit with a nail and keep their edge. It's really cool procedure. So thank you everybody who's here. Make sure you check out my long form video I just made about tanning. Just made a video about my tanning process over the last 3 months, 2 months. It's more like 3 now. Real good video. Music by John Specker, great fiddler, one of the great American fiddlers allowed me to use his music, which I am humbled for that as well. Thank you, John, if you're out there. He doesn't really have the internet. He lives in the middle of he lives in the mountains with no internet, so I don't think he watches much YouTube. Let's show you all this. This stuff's getting a little funky, so what I need to do is replace all the tannins in this tannin liquor right here, and make a new fresh tannin liquor. This is going to have all kinds of spots in it, as I've said before, but that's okay. I'm going to check the back out, see if it needs to be scraped a bit. But let's check my beam and make sure that my beam is not going to be too rough for it first. So we got to inspect the beam first. Make sure that the beam doesn't have any rough edges on it. I'm going to take my gloves off for this. Use my touch sense here. Yeah, the only thing about those moles is they got toxic skin. So if your dogs eat them, they get really sick. Can't get these gloves off. There we go. All right. Summer, I don't got no more stuff. This is a little rough here. Let me take some fine sandpaper over that. I don't mind a little sawdust on the wood, but it can't be rough. So I'm gonna take some sand. Actually, I'm gonna take some rough sandpaper over it. I know I got some around here. There we go. And then I'll go fine after that. This is actually a black walnut log right here. Part of the reason it has all these holes in it is because I had some oak galls in my wood shop about 10 years ago, and they hatched and started boring holes into everything, including my logs and lumber. Happy to be here today. Welcome to Dad's Workshop. My name is Calvin. What we're going to do is we are going to take this piece of leather, put it on here. Let me make sure that that's nice and smooth. Maybe down there at that bottom part here. There's a little edge right there. It'll scratch the grain on your leather if you don't do that. Probably doing something like this, and doing this with PVC is probably the best. Taking a cork, a roll of cork, and actually laminating it to your beam probably wouldn't be a terrible idea. All right, let's do this. All right, I got my scraper over here. I'm gonna use my small hide scraper, not my what you call it, Summer likes to watch me do this. That's our dachshund here. You probably can't. I don't know if you can see it. All right, so got this piece of oak tan leather. I'm gonna put it grain side down, flesh side up. Summer, out of here. Don't bite that. Grain side down, flesh side up. I'm gonna give it a little cursory scraping, and I'm gonna wring it out, and I'm gonna put it back. I don't want to damage the grain much more. It's got some grain damage to it already. Let's give it a little bit of a once over is all we want to do. I'm going to be as gentle as I can here too, and I don't usually do that, but turns out, it's kind of going to depend on how well that combination buckskin oak tan leather that I'm going to make is. Because if that's really good, I might go with that process in the future, a combination tanning process. Again, I made a long form video that I dropped yesterday. It's 5 minutes. Take a couple minutes. Maybe Heather can drop the link in the chat here. I wouldn't mind somebody leaving to go check that out for sure. Jason says, I'm boiling down some oak bark to tan some beaver hides. You get all that grease and fat off those beaver hides. I understand. I haven't had a beaver yet. When I do, I'm going to be psyched. I understand they're very fatty. Those are going to be great. I'm psyched for you. Make a video. Just make a video. Psyched to have you here, Jason. Welcome. Everybody, welcome. Welcome to my member and friend, Ricker. Love to have Ricker here. Welcome to Jason. And anyone else in the gallery, say hi so we can acknowledge you. We're very friendly, I promise. We do bite, but only not very nice people, you know? Can y'all see that? Y'all can't see much of the scraping action here. Let me back it up a little so y'all can see a little bit more. Thanks for putting that video up. Heather just dropped the link from my beginning tanning video, my first experience with tanning. Check that video out right there at that link. Check that link out. The link is right there. See that link right there? Right there. Link is right there. Check that out. Click that video. Watch the video. Enjoy. Shout out to John out there who made my music, man. Appreciate that. I threw a little piano in there too, but John is the one that played Bonaparte's Retreat, the fiddle tune for me. Called him yesterday, had a nice long conversation with him. Very nice guy. Very nice guy. Lives a very, very simple life out there in the mountains of Vermont. Simplicity is not a bad thing, guys. Somebody's burning some hair around here or something, or there's some animals being slaughtered, and it smells real bad. Ricker said he only likes me here because I don't troll him as much as I do Mike and Elegant. Yeah, you're nicer to me, probably because you can tell I'm more sensitive. He's like, I don't know, Calvin might not respond well to the next thing I say. He is meaner to Mike. You are way meaner. I sometimes wonder why you're not that mean to me. I'm like, hey, I'm left out. People have sensitivity to that though. They're like, he won't take it well. That's not true. Sometimes I will, but you're right. I probably won't. I'm a little sensitive. This color, like if I get this color, which is probably the way it's going to tan out and end up, I don't know if you guys kind of see that, like burnt orange color. That is like desirable for me. I would love to see that color on my final product. So if I can take the grain, if I have to take the grain off of these and retan them, I'll do it. There's a lot of grain off already anyways. I did notice though, I will say that with the pecan tannins and the other ones, like the mixture doesn't like spoil as fast, but also I didn't have as many hides in there. So, you know, when you add 3 hides or something, you've got 3 hides in a plastic trash can, you got to use 3 times the amount of tannins. You got to use 3 times the amount of bark liquor. It's going to take 3 times the amount of changing. It's going to get used 3 times as fast. So, you know, I think maybe I'm not being fair, but for sure, like the the tannin liquor that I make gets depleted really fast, and it starts getting funky quick. I took it out today. Summer, you're too close. You're gonna get hit by one of these blades. I want this flat against the beam here. Typically, this type of tool is used for a smaller hide. I don't have a big fleshing knife yet. I'm tempted to make one like somebody said the other day out of a lawnmower blade. Probably got a spare lawnmower blade I could find or go to a junkyard. It's got to be stainless though, because we can't have Hey, welcome, Carrie. We can't have what you call it rust turns your hides black, gives you black spots on your hides. Hey, welcome everybody. My name is Calvin. This is Dad's Workshop. Right now I'm scraping a bark tanned or veg tanned hide here, a home tanned hide, not like veg tan from the store. Those are like a pale gray color. Still expensive. Better than chrome tan, better than the average. But this is the ideal leather, the stuff that's made handcrafted. You know, you guys know that. That's why you're here. Thank you everybody for being here. And check out that long form video that I made yesterday. If you have hype points, hype it for me. I need hypes. I need people to hype my video. So check that video out. Heather put the link in there. Hey Ron, what's up, man? Yeah, we're gonna be working on the handle for the axe head that Ron sent me. Shout out Homemade 1970. You see him in the chat there. This was the axe head that he made me, or the hatchet head, and this was the chisel. We're gonna work on the handle for this today. Once I scrape these hides and put them down, get to the woodworking portion of the live stream today. Thank you, Carrie. Carrie says she's gonna watch that video. I just came out with the video yesterday. It's only a few minutes long. Just a cursory video of my tanning experience. Shout out to my friend out there, John Specker, who who allowed me to use his beautiful fiddle music in the video. John is he's the real deal, one of the traditional American fiddlers that's left, that carries on the tradition of the reels and the old time fiddle music. We like old time stuff here. Actually, not that far as the crow flies there from, I don't think that far from you there, Ron. He's in like western New England, but it's in kind of the northern part of Vermont. So bordering Quebec in a way. Like he's probably not more than a couple hundred miles away down there in Vermont. But John Specker, the fiddler, shout out to him. I know he doesn't have the internet really up there. He has a landline. That's the kind of life John lives. Had a good conversation with him yesterday. Nice guy. Ricker said, I was going to make a draw knife out of one, and I just happened to pick it up and look through it, and it had a few cracks in it. Heat would have probably shattered it. Was it a lawn mowing blade? Is that what you were looking at? Thank you. That's Ron's channel right there. Definitely check out Ron, Homemade by Ron, up there in Quebec. He makes awesome stuff that you're going to see me work on the handle for this thing today. I've been kind of waiting for this for a minute so I could do this. This hide right here has been oak tanned and for a few weeks with oak bark, red oak bark. We're scraping the flesh side of this hide, and then I'm going to put it back. I'm going to do one more hide, then I'm going to start working on that handle. Shout out to all my friends and stuff that are here. Jason said he made a fleshing knife out of a machete, and boy, it kind of sucks. As long as the machete is stainless, and you probably need, like, here's something to say. Ron can speak to this. You see how much you see how much tang there is on there. With a draw knife, you probably need that much. With a draw knife or a fleshing knife, you need that much tang on both sides so that you can attach that much handle. The rule of thumb, I think, is to make sure that the tang is as long as the handle. If it's not, it makes it unstable. So, in my experience, and somebody could correct me if I'm wrong about that, generally your tang has to be, you need it going into whatever your handle is pretty far to give it that stability that it needs. At this point, I'll leave the forging to the forgers. I haven't gotten to that yet. Hopefully, I'll live long enough where I can get to forging. You know, I'd love to try that too. I love to watch people forge stuff. Ron forges stuff by hand on his channel. Also does leather work, woodwork. Has a lumber mill. Great stuff, man. The real deal, man. That's what I tell everybody. That little thing down in the bottom of the screen, tap that and check out my new long form video. About, it's not very long, it's only about 5 minutes long, about making leather and tanning hides here. I think these are almost done, man. They smell mature. They smell like the leather shop at the mall when I was little, back when they still made leather good. So this right here, there's just something about that, man. Trust me, if you get into it, you will not regret it. Well, maybe you will. It's hard work. But the smell of like bark tan leather, dude, I now understand where that smell came from. When I was little, I was like, what is that smell? It's the most complex smell, kind of like an old library. 1970 year Ron said, Calvin, if you can bark down hide, you'll be able to forge your knife, I guarantee. Bark tan hide, I can forge a knife. I hope so, man. I definitely watched, Heather and I watch a lot of Forged in the Fire, which I think I brought up to you. You hadn't watched that show yet. Great show, man, where they bring, I don't know if they show it in Canada, but maybe a History Channel thing. But they bring on knife makers and swords makers and what do they call those people that make horseshoes? You guys can help me with that. What's the person that farrier? A farrier, the person that forges horseshoes, blacksmiths, and then they put them against each other, and they got to do stuff really fast. Which I don't care for that factor of it, but yeah, yeah, Forged in Fire, great show, man, great show, right up my alley. I can do probably several hours of it in a row before I maybe switch, but it's really good. These guys, and if they get past the first round, they go to their home forges and they make it on their home forge. They should invite people from Canada on there. Maybe spice it up a little bit. Make some different blades too. Some knives and things I've kind of become familiar with in the last few months. I was like, I haven't seen any of those on Forged in Fire. They have them doing scimitars and all these different things. Shout out to everybody who's here. Oh, okay, yeah. Ron has seen it. I don't remember who I said it to where they were like, I haven't seen that show at all. Yeah, Forged in Fire, great show, man. Great show. Some of those guys, so talented. Very, very talented. This is a piece of buckskin, or what I'll show you. It's matte on both sides because I removed the grain. That's the difference here. Let me show y'all. So I'll show you the difference. This is matte here on both sides. You see that? Matte on both sides, right? So the grain's been removed from this. I scraped the grain off, which is a process called frizzing. So when you frizz, you're removing that skin, that sheer part. And I'll put them next to each other so you can see. I got to make it somewhat educational. So there's the difference. You see the difference between grained and frizzed, right? Hopefully they're both visible in the camera. This still has the grain somewhat. You see some damage there, but this has no grain left on it. This has been scraped. think I was on this one. So I think this hide's almost done. I don't want to bark tan this until it's super, super rough structural leather. I want to actually brain this one soon. I'm going to scrape this down, throw it in some tannins today. I made a nice thick oak bark liquor. I'm going to throw it in there today. And then I'm going to go forward with starting the drying process, which is like almost as long as the tanning process. You want to dry it slow, rehydrate it over and over again, and then add oils. You're replacing the moisture that held the skin together, or was the key component of keeping the skin soft, was the water in the living animal. That's being replaced by the oils that you're using. This is just due diligence to make sure we're scraped down to the most bare like collagen that we have here. We just want skin and tannins. Y'all can see how that has a quote unquote suede like texture, right? Nice. Shout out to everybody in the chat and everybody in the gallery. Welcome. My name is Calvin, and this is Dad's Workshop. And right now we're working leather. Thanks so much for being here. This is a piece of combination tan skin. It's a deer hide, and it is being bark tanned with red oak, and it's going to get brain tanned after that and smoked. So we're going to do a combination tan on this and see what kind of a texture we can get. Remember, if we're using bark tannins, this needs to be scraped right here. See the spot right here. If we're making bark tannins, we're going to end up with real stiff structural leather generally. So what we want to do here is we want to make sure that we take it out of those tannins fast enough to keep it supple, or at least a little bit more supple, if we're going to use it for any kind of garment or anything like that. I'm really excited to see how this combination buckskin turned out. But essentially, buckskin is like the deer skin version of suede, right? It's a thinner weight suede, essentially. Suede is generally denotes cowhide. If y'all can't tell, I like to talk while I work, right? Thanks for being here. I'm so happy to have all of you. I feel blessed to have all of you in the room. Definitely check out my newest long form video, just dropped yesterday. Shout out to John Specker out there for his musical contribution, and anyone in John's family too. If his kids are online and they saw it, shout out to them as well. And Carrie, want to say hi to Carrie, big supporter and member of our channel. Always happy to see Carrie. June, welcome. Welcome, June. Who else do I need to say hi to here? There's a lot of folks here today. I want to make sure I say hi to everybody. Jason's tanning some beavers today. Shout out to Ron and Ricker. Hey, join the chat. Come say hi in the chat, guys. We're happy to have all of you here. Just want to say hi to you. So drop a line in the chat and let's be fast friends. You know, it's all love. Beautiful Saturday. Wind is blowing. It's warm. It's kind of warm down here. I hope you guys are enjoying your day or evening, depending on where you are in the world. Very happy to have all of you. Super blessed. Super blessed. It's all just being thorough, man. It just takes repetition and thoroughness. Hey, Mike is making stuff is in here. Appreciate you, Mike. Shout out to Mike, who had his program last night. Definitely check his channel out. If Wes is in the gallery, say hi, Wes, so that folks can join all of these channels, man. We got a lot of channels of crafters and people who like to hang out. Good folks. You see how entertainment is changing, right? We're at the vanguard here. I really believe that. Like I said, this is a combination tan piece of buckskin. It's had the grain removed, which is key to making buckskin. I didn't know that for a minute. It took me a long time to get to that key piece of information. Key piece of information there. Got to scrape the grain off. I'm tempted to scrape the grain off that other piece, man. As beautiful as that skin is, it's just got too many holes in it. I missed something? All right, let me go back. Okay, hit me with it.
This might be a stupid question. How long does it take to dry the skin that you are doing from Canada, first time here?
Thank you, Tammy. Tammy, right? We also have another person from Canada here, and that's Ron. So definitely check out Ron's channel first before I answer your question. It takes a long time to dry these hides. You want to stretch it out as long as possible. You want to take a hide like this, you want to dry it for like a month. Keep it moist every day. Oils and egg, olive oil, coconut oil, and egg. Spread that with your fingers. Roll it, and I'm going to show you in a minute. I'll show you how to roll it in every direction, right? Take your hide. Pretend this is your hide right here. It's an excellent question, Tammy. I pretend to be a crafter, says. Now, this is kind of tight, see, because I haven't moisturized this in a couple days. But since this is like this, I'm going to re-moisturize this because this needs to be done again from the flesh side. I want to answer Tammy's question fully. The answer is it depends on the hide. If it was like a bison hide, it would be a couple months, up to a year maybe, of just drying. But what you want to do is dry it real slow. Don't rush the process. Add oils and soften it up with water when it's starting to dry. Add oils every day. And then twist it, go from the corner. And if you don't want your grain, let me show you what I'm talking about when I say this too. This grain's intact here. This is a piece of raccoon hide. If you don't want your grain to turn into a pebble finish, you're going to want to roll it grain side up. Come in from the corners and roll it in just gently. Roll it back and then stick it down to a huge board with fats. What they call dubbin is a good fat. That's a combination of deer tallow or bear tallow or tallow you can get from the store. That's animal fat. And then roll it, stick it down to the board. I'll do it right now, actually. This needs to be stuck down again. $420 people in the room. Take a screenshot. No one pretends to do anything, man. That's the thing. There's a book by Rick Rubin called The Creative Process. It's not about pretending to be. When you are, you are. You're not pretending. Everyone has this inferiority complex. It's very easy to develop that because people want to put you down and make you feel inferior your whole life. It's very easy for that to happen. It's very easy for people to, with their own sense of inferiority, ingrain in you a sense of inferiority that you don't deserve. Everyone experiences life in the same kind of a speed. If you're wanting to learn something, it's just a process of immersing yourself in it, right? You see how I'm sticking this down on this board? It's not cooperating really well because it's been a couple days. So it happens when you work on a long form video. Starting to flatten out a bit. I'm gonna add some more water. This is the neck right here, so it's thicker. You're gonna get used to this when you do it. Now I have this stuff on my hands now, so I'm moisturizing it as we speak. And as I'm doing this, I'm gonna take what I have here is a combination of beeswax and coconut oil. This is an excellent question, by the way, Tammy. Thank you, Tammy from Canada. I'm gonna take some of this stuff. This is a process that AI won't tell you to do. They'll say don't do this, but it's not true. It's really important. So a thick fat that's stable or thick at room temperature, right? Solid at room temperature. A beeswax mixture is okay. The other thing is to use an animal fat, a tallow, beef tallow. If you have bear fat's really good. Imposter syndrome, right? And then stick these corners down. And you're gonna have uneven corners, right? Because you got the whole hide. Do that, take it out the next day, do the same thing again. Check out, because what it's gonna do is pop off your board. You're gonna come in the room or your workshop, you're gonna see it's popped off the board, and you need to do it all again. Rehydrate it, stick it down. Don't stick nails in it because you lose usable leather that way. Silva International says, man, I have a lion that I have to skin a lion. Can you please help me advise the best? It's already mounted. Are we talking about an African lion? Are we talking about a mountain lion? I'm not gonna get into advising on endangered species. Hopefully it's seems like a trap. Tammy says she has a YouTube channel. Check out Tammy Fleming 7. Tammy, I hope I answered your question. Take a month on that hide. Take a month and dry it. Roll it into a roll. If it rolls out, I'm still struggling with this concept myself. It's very hard because especially with bark tanning, the hides are very rigid and structural. But I think maybe Silva International. What kind of a? Ooh, yeah. I don't know. Are you allowed to hunt those there? Oh, yeah. I don't know. I don't know anything. I'm going to have to, that's over my head, Silva. Thank you, Tammy. I'm glad I could answer. Take your time, okay? Take time. And if you legally took that African lion, then bless your heart, you know. Someone asked me the other day what I would not hunt, and that's endangered species. I don't know if the African lion is endangered or threatened or anything like that. I'm not going to get into the politics of this. Just for me, just make sure you're following all your local rules and regulations. Thank you, YouTube. Making sure YouTube knows that I'm complying with the community guidelines. Is that fair? And I wish you the absolute best, Silva. I really do. There are places in Africa where lions are legally hunted, I believe, but I have to be careful because I'm not from there and don't know the laws and don't want to advise you to do something that's illegal or might get me flagged for community guidelines violations. Also, morally, you know, I want to make sure I advise people with integrity to my own morals, you know, and that's not personal at all. Danny says you can actually hunt what in Texas? Mountain lions or African lions? They have African lions running around down there. I know there's some axis deer down there that are invasive. It is true that if you are in an ecosystem, you are hunting the prey animals, the prairie animals. Hopefully, see now how I got it flat like this, Tammy? I stick it down to the board. I put a little more fat on these corners. Silva's in Texas. Oh, so you went on a hunting excursion. Ernest Hemingway down there. You take these corners, you get these corners dubbing up with fat. Now that I've gotten it flatter, it should stick down. I'm gonna press that down. Let me get my slicker. Use a slicker. I made one myself too. I got another one over here. Here's my crude one, right? Here's the one I made by myself. I don't have a lathe, but if you have a lathe, you can turn yourself a slicker. This is the one I made by hand. This was a gift. Take your slicker, press the leather down on all the corners until it sticks, right? And it takes some work. Press all those corners down. Do that every day, every single day till it dries. Question? Oh, oh, okay. I get it. I get it. I get it. What's the deal with it? What's going on with it? Well, that's interesting, Silva. There are secondhand. What's that movie called? Secondhand Lions. There are secondhand mounted animals that are. I'm okay with you taking that. You know, like not that it matters. Yeah. It's the same. You just meticulous, but you want to look at how to skin a cat, which is very particular. Cats are the hardest animals to skin. If it's taxidermied already, you're good, but it's about restoration. You know, that's trickier. You need to find like there's probably restoration taxidermists. You know, like Teddy Roosevelt has all of these type of animals. Yeah, Teddy Roosevelt has a whole menagerie of elephants and things like that up there in New York, and I think they have to have like restoration taxidermists work on that. I'm gonna shout out to Oak Ridge and ask Oak Ridge to pop in. I have a member named Oak Ridge Taxidermy, is a very experienced taxidermist. Check out his channel, Silva, and email him. He probably has a contact on there. Yeah, I like to throw him any kind of interest that I get. He's way more. I'm a novice at this stuff. I'm more of a tanner, kind of an amateur tanner than a taxidermist. Ah, I see the Kate. Yeah. Yeah. That shouldn't be that difficult.
Isn't it like already sewn though? Wouldn't it be a seam?
So the form under it, depending on how old it is, the form could actually be a carved piece of wood. But nowadays, it's usually a solid foam. Balsa was the middle ground between that. And then what you would do is you would basically use X-Acto and trim the skin, and then use whatever you need, saw through the form and remove it. But you want to leave more than what you think. So leave some of the cape hanging over whatever it is. The cape being the neck and the head area. You want to leave more skin. It's just like taking any kind of fabric. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, thank you, Silva. Appreciate you being here. Excellent question. I'm glad you didn't kill the lion yourself. Thanks. That makes my day. Yeah. Yeah, those game reserves, they're a little tricky ethically. I won't. Yeah, I won't get into that. But yeah, there's the people. Some people agree, some people disagree with that stuff. I'm in the middle. I don't know where I am on it. But either way. All right. So here's my buckskin I was working. I'm gonna put that aside for a minute. Hope that answered everybody's question. I'll move on to the next phase of this today. I need to do that with this is a squirrel right here too, by the way. So probably need to do that with the squirrel also, but I won't do that in here today. And thanks everybody for popping in. Check out my long form video, by the way. It's just dropped yesterday. It's just I'm not trying to teach anybody stuff. I've been advised that that's not a good idea, especially when you're just learning something. It's good to help to like teach it to someone else to help you learn it, but to act like an expert on something you don't know is not the way to do things. So the way my video is, it's about my experience, and hopefully it's entertaining or it inspires you to do something, process an animal, respectfully, the right way, the ethical way. This piece of raccoon leather is going to be something good though. I want it to be a patch on my next apron. That's my goal. It'll be hemmed down, probably here where the neck is, where it's thick. I'll hem that down. I need BK to talk about how you sew raccoons. Oh, June's House of Crafts is sub. See? Tammy, thank you for coming through. June, thank you for coming through. Appreciate everybody being here. Now, let me put this piece of leather aside because what I need to do now is actually some woodwork. Yeah, we're a community here. We do that all the time. We work on although if somebody does know how to do mechanical bonding, I wouldn't mind you telling me how, because I think I may have some brass rivets or brass pegs that I might be able to use if they're kind of sawed off, and I do have two-part epoxy, but I need somebody to kind of talk me through it, how I do that mechanical bond for the chisel. By the way, my name is Calvin. This is Dad's Workshop. Thanks for being here. Um, so I'm going to pretend that's stuck down for now, but we're going to put this aside because I kind of am going to work on this surface a little bit. Well, maybe I won't. I'll put this board aside here. By the way, shout out to Wes Does It. He made me this knife here. Super nice here. Psyched about it. Like the wood on the handle. We're going to get that thing edged and everything. Kind of glad y'all didn't ship me super sharp stuff. It's better that way. I'm going to show you what my technique's going to be on this. It's not, and I'm not going to manifest it, but this may drop the viewership because it's just not as fun as animal stuff. But it's part of the process, because what I want to use this axe head for is I want to use this axe head to process bark. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to do this here. First thing I need to do is make a kind of a little sketch of the inside of this, and then I'm going to kind of, actually I'll do it like the width of the outside to start. I need to know, is this going to be wide enough? Oh yeah. It's basically the right, this is about 3/4 thick. This is cherry that I laminated here. I want to make sure that I So it's got to be outside that. That's the general, that's the interior width right there. But we're going to go with what you see is that exterior width, somewhere between, because we don't want to be too small. Too small is not good. We want it to fit kind of tight. And then I'll drill a little hole in there. Also want a taper to it, or an outward taper. So I'm going to kind of sketch out this is a laminated, 2 laminated 1x3 pieces of cherry. I'm going to use cherry for the handle. Should work. I have ash too, but I'm getting tired of using ash as handles. Like, it's just like not as pretty. I want it to look cool. So we'll do it there with that. That's the exterior on this side. It's going to be right here. All right. Straightness of this line is not that important to me. I'm going to chisel it out too. The curvature, I'm going to chisel it out. I'll put it through the bandsaw just to cut the outside of it. Just go cut, 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 cut. And I'll put the camera on it, but people don't typically like that very much. I usually actually set the camera aside when I do that. Oh, I know what I could do. I could cut this out by hand on the actual bench, but that's a long process. I want like a little backward curvature to it. This is when the reader's got to go on. Thanks for hanging out, June. Appreciate you being here. Shout out to June. June's House of Crafts. This is the interior. That's the exterior. I mean, definitely it's got to be. Yeah. And I want to overestimate on that width. And then it's going to be chiseling. I don't have a lathe, so it's going to be all chiseling stuff. I'm going to sweep around and kind of come up with a form here that I can use to throw this curve on here. What's a good piece of wood I can use to apply a curve? Oh, that'll work. I got a piece of ash here. That's too wide, so we're going to start that line again. I was Heather and I were thinking about 14 inches probably is a good handle size for this. I've seen these made poorly before where the handle is too long or unwieldy or doesn't balance with the axe right. So it is tricky a little bit on how you make these. I want it to flute out like she was talking about. Heather had a good idea. This is too close in, I think, actually. Doesn't need to be perfectly straight. I'm going to try to work it. May just need one bandsaw cut downward. Ideally, I like this layout on both sides, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that. Sweeping kind of a curve with a little bit of a, like, I think like a nub on the bottom. Y'all see that? That looks like kind of how I would want the handle here. Carrie, we love you. Thank you for being here, Carrie. Super big supporter of the program. Shout out, Carrie. We appreciate you. Yeah, I think that's like, let's look at, is that too short? It looks too wide at the moment, but that's okay. If I start with it too big, I'm okay. Let me, this is too much here. So we're gonna, some of this is like more of an art than a science, I think. I want this to be a solid piece of nicely dried wood. I have a huge cherry slab that I could probably use. That's a little too far in. That would be too skinny. So like somewhere in between, like right in here. I've been thinking about how I was going to make this handle for a minute. Yeah, that's about right. And then it's going to be, what I'm thinking is I might add a little more of a kind of a grippy taper down here. Maybe a little bit of a curve. I don't know if y'all can see that, but that's what I'm thinking handle design wise right there. And like I said, this is cherry, and I do not want to make that too small. But if I do, I will redo it. No big deal. All right, let's take this. I'm gonna take this to the band, so I'll make a couple little quick cuts, and I'll be right back. And I'll take a little water. This is Dad's Workshop. Make sure you subscribe, like this video. Hopefully I still got you. I lost a few. That's all right. That's okay. That's okay. Welcome back. Let's turn that camera so we can see what's going on. All right, we got this handle partially cut out. I left some kerf on there. So what I'm going to do here in the vise, I'm going to set it up in the vise here, and I'm going to work this with a chisel. And then I'll round it off using a chisel as well, very gently. But the first thing I'm going to do, I'll probably go around and make a stop cut. And I'll turn this so you guys can see it here. It's better off that way for sure. Regis Amblard, welcome. I said that like you were. Whoa, there's a. That shouldn't make a difference there. I feel like I'm about to sneeze. You ever get that feeling? I'm sure you do. Y'all see that well enough? Let's pick a good chisel here. Pick a good chisel. This is like one of my favorites. A little bit rusty. Maybe I do a tiny bit of polishing here. Yeah, I gotta make sure I got something real sharp for this job. I used to keep these bad boys so sharp, and now I feel like they're just like falling behind. It's all right. We'll do some sharpening here real quick. I do not want the 400 stone. I need the polishing. Yeah. Logic. A good metal wire cutting tool for a metal wire cutting tool. Yeah, I don't know, man. Amazon's Amazon, man. I just ordered some stuff from them the other day, and it came in really bad condition. So I don't know anymore. I think they're trying to compete with Temu. It's making stuff like crappier. It's making the quality of things go down constantly. Let's do some polishing on this chisel because I don't want to hit y'all with a no, not literally hit you, but like I don't want y'all to see a terrible chisel. Like you need to see a chisel that's sharp doing its job. So this is a good chisel width wise for this job. Got a lot of rust on it, but it's been polished. The reason it has rust is because I've been having salt water in my shop with this animal processing I'm doing. By the way, if you want to see my leather making process, please do subscribe and check out my most recent video. This is a piece of 800 grit sandpaper. This will probably get some of the rust off of here. If you're concerned with that kind of thing. These tools I think I got from Amazon. These Narex chisels, but that was a long time ago. I don't know if Narex still sells chisels on Amazon. You know? That rust is deep, man. That salt water does not play. It is hard on everything. I got plenty of stuff to strop with now, all this leather in the shop now. I don't have a lot of recommendation for online stores, but there's definitely lots of different tool suppliers that it depends on what kind of a tool you're looking for, man. You know, I'm sure there's guys on here that can. I got friends on here that got Amazon affiliate links. Click one of theirs. Pilato, you in the house? Mike, one of y'all that has the Amazon affiliate link. I don't do the Amazon affiliate thing, so I don't necessarily sell. I don't sell stuff for people unless they deserve it. You know what I mean? I'm sure folks understand what I'm talking about. Logic, welcome. I don't want to give you bad advice. That's what it boils down to. Like Logic the rapper. Yeah, those guys are good at picking tools out. What is the tool you're looking for? You said a wire cutting, metal wire cutting brush. Is that what you said? I'm not sure I know what that is exactly, but if you can help me understand what that is, maybe I can lead you the right direction. This is dangerous because I have a sharp edge, and this is just for aesthetics, right? I don't really need a pretty chisel. I just need a sharp chisel. We'll strop it in a second because I got buckskin in here I can strop with. We need to do this bottom plate as well here. Almost like it's a construction component, bottom plate. The base of the chisel. A lot of strop in there, I'm noticing. So this chisel needed a lot of work. Thank y'all for coming too. I'm glad you're here. My name is Calvin. This is Dad's Workshop. If you came for the leather stuff, definitely click back to the beginning of the live. Wire saw. Mike, you there? Oh yeah, it's getting better. I had to re-edge a lot of these tools recently because they got used for a long time and the edges got skewed off to one side because I hand sharpen them. I don't use a guide. Most of that happened early on. I wish y'all could see how much strop there is. Y'all see that? It's a lot of strop. Meaning metal shavings and stuff. You want to get those out of there. Hey, Jason, thank you, man. I'm glad you watched the video, man. Thank you so much for checking that out. Appreciate you, man. It looks like Real Outdoor Living just mentioned me in something. Appreciate you, ROL. Thanks for being out there and looking out for me. So I'm coming over here to grab some buckskin, some leather here that I've got scraps of that I can use to strop. If you're interested in some scrap leather to use as a strop and you're a member of my channel, email me, dadsworkshopcalvin@yahoo.com, and I'll send you some leather. I'll do it on demand. I've got all of this scrap leather. I'd love to send y'all some free leather scraps that you can use as strops. I have no problem doing that. But that's going to be like members first, of course, you know. No charge, no shipping. I just want to show appreciation. If you all need a nice strop, this is a piece of deer hide that I'm using right here. And then you maybe can make crafts out of those little bits of leather. What I'll do with whatever I'm left with is make laces and things like that. It's been a beautiful Saturday online here, man. Great numbers. Glad everybody made it through. That looks a lot better. Y'all can kind of probably see how much better that edge looks. There was some rust on there, but now we got a decent edge here. And having that little bit of porous buckskin there takes that strop out. It's sharp now. So let's get the Jason, I really appreciate that. And also anybody else who has not checked the video out, check that video out. Don't mind you leaving to check that out. We do all kinds of stuff here in Dad's Workshop. We've been doing a lot of animal processing recently, making leather, making fur. This is a hatchet handle. I kind of did it in two different ways here. This is also an antique hatchet that needs to be de-rusted. It's a hewing hatchet from Southwest Virginia. It's a nice piece of steel too. I gotta take care of it. It's just a mess. Hopefully it doesn't fall and cut my toe off. Now, what I would suggest here is we go and do a stop cut all along, and I'm going to do that on both sides, kind of. So I might turn this at a diagonal. Let me move the camera a little closer. I'm going to use a different chisel to do these stop cuts because they're really big. This one's in pretty good shape, and it's very sharp. So I do recommend Narex chisels. They make good chisels, and they don't pay me to say that. So shout out Narex in the Czech Republic. Give my mallet. A couple of taps. If I have a heavier mallet, it's just a couple of taps with this to get that line. I'm gonna go a little above the line just in case. This is so that we don't blow out into the handle area. Doesn't need to be perfect. I'll shave it down to where I want it. Pare it. Is the right word for that actually. P-A-R-E. Doesn't need to be like super deep. Just enough. I want this in here firmly though. This is a very particular area that we need to make sure it doesn't get messed up. So I want to make sure that's like that. And then I think probably it's ready to be attacked a little bit. All right, the fun part, right? Remember, this is supposed to be for this, so we have to kind of keep looking at it and sizing it against this. It's got to be tailor fit for that. I hope it's not too short a handle. It may end up being too short, but that'll give us a chance to do it all over again. All right, one thing I want to do before I start hammering with this chisel is put away this glass container here. Make sure there's nothing on the bench that's going to fall on my feet. That's going to harm my feet. Chisels and stuff like that. I don't have really protected shoes on right now. I got my Crocs on, so I want to make sure that I'm not going to get hurt. New Roots, welcome, welcome. It's a nice little score there. That is, I would say for sure it's a nice score. No question. All right. See how easy that comes off, y'all? Sharp tool. And then working with the wood, right? And then when we make this handle, probably we'll have to put a wedge in there, you know? But no big deal, right? Yeah, we're going to do it with hand tools. Like riding a bike. Bench wants to move around. We're going to round it off with hand tools too, obviously. Probably carvers might use carving tools for it. I don't mind there being a bit of a round profile to this edge right here at this stage, so I'm going to start kind of doing that a little bit. Oh, it's already looking pretty good, man. Feel free to ask questions in the chat. You know what I mean? What kind of wood are you working with here? This is cherry. This is cherry. Thanks. Excellent question. That's right. This is what he says. This is you guys' sign to shut the power off every now and then and get back to the roots of this stuff, right? You don't need power for this. A sharp hand tool is a beautiful thing, guys. You know what I mean? It doesn't take a lot of heavy work. Just look at that, right? See that? Cherry's nice and strong. I have ash like of this color, kiln dried ash. I'd prefer not to use it. Also, this slab right here is cherry. I think it's a little too thin for this piece, and I don't want to cut the slab up and then make a mistake on a piece. So this piece was kind of a scrap I had from a surface I'd made years ago that didn't pan out. You know, you have those scraps around the shop sometimes. All right, and I want to be careful here and make sure I don't go anywhere deeper than where I'm intended to. All right, yeah, it looks like I got that there. Thank you so much, New Roots. Appreciate that compliment. By the way, if you all are here for the leather type content, go back to the beginning of the video. I kind of talk about that also. There's a long form out about my leather making experience. That is making leather from scratch, from animal hides. If you're into that sort of thing, which if you're here, you may be. That's kind of what we do. The skill tree, right? What are your skills? And not always bush. Like, we're not gonna, I've got bone tools and stuff too, but we're not always gonna use bones. We have access to metal, you know. So, not saying don't do that though. I did use a bone tool to scrape for a couple weeks there. I did hear though, this is something I heard. Bone tools are nice, but they get dull very quickly. The bone doesn't stay sharp as it's working stuff, whereas a metal can keep its edge pretty well. I didn't say stone though, I said bone. So stone can sometimes keep its edge. New Roots Dynamics that I'm a woodworker by trade. So it's nice seeing some hand tool work. Well, I appreciate that you appreciate that, you know? This is something I've been psyched to do for, those are Arctic geese that you hear. Do you hear that sound? Sounds like children. I think they live up there somewhere where Ron's at, up there in Canada. And then they come down summer here in North Carolina. The dogs are barking at them. I think it's like breeding that makes them do that. They hear that sound. It should be taken, you know, y'all see how it's taking that nice ribbon out of there? And I'm going to pick it up in the vise a little. We're getting towards that shape that Heather kind of suggested, which I think was an awesome idea. I just hope it's not too short. That's my only fear, is that the handle, I made it too short. I'm going to keep all of this meat here for the moment. Welcome to Dad's Workshop. My name is Calvin. You're in my shop with me. Friends, everybody, positive salutations to all of you. And, I wish the best for all of you and hope that you're happy and comfortable and fed and enjoying yourselves and appreciating where you are right now. That's what I could hope for. That's the best thing I can hope for everybody. You know, all of the things that are really important. I hope you have those at this moment. Or if you don't, that they're coming to you. Carolina boy, huh? How you like it over there? Well, originally I'm from Minnesota. Then I grew up in Virginia, and I do like it in Carolina. I do fit in down here. Carolina's a good state. I think I probably fit in better down in Arkansas or like um what's the other state? Tennessee. Like I really like Tennessee folk and Arkansas folk. Uh no, don't never mind. That's fine. Uh oh, because you just heard. Yeah. So I'm originally from Minnesota. And then I grew up in Virginia, where my mom's ancestors come from. And then I moved down to Carolina because there's this girl down there that I thought of. She was all right, you know. I thought I might check her out. This is one of the first tools, chisels that I used. You see the back on that? I didn't have a mallet yet, so I like hit it with a hammer. Okay, Jason's down at. That's right. Jason told me he was from Texas. Got a question?
No, you are at your third watch live stream.
Oh, really? Sweet. Yeah, that's really nice. You never know. Sometimes things change, but always hope for the best here. Yeah, we're doing good. Historic territory, yeah. 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 Love to be this live stream is one of my best guys, so uh I'm doing historically well on this live stream, so definitely stick around. I'm gonna stick around and do some more skill stuff here. We're gonna try to fit this handle on possibly today. I would like to be able to use this hatchet. Ralph, Ralph from up in Western New York. What's up, man? Western New York, Ralph. Ralph, check out my long form video I made yesterday. It's in the links down there. It's only 5 minutes. All right, this is tricky because this is one on the end, so you sometimes will get blowout here. You want to be real careful. You don't want to blow out this end part. Oh no no no! Please no. And maybe all right. Maybe all right. We'll see. In case you've wondered what I like, why I am doing this, it's because I like to make stuff. You should too. Make some stuff. You know, it's really cool. Also got a lot of videos on woodwork and a lot of live streams where I'm doing traditional type of woodwork. I don't use all hand tools, but I like hand tools. I actually prefer them for a lot of jobs. There's a lot of jobs I'd rather use hand tools for, especially since a lot of people just don't know how to sharpen their tools. That's the problem. They don't know how to sharpen their tools, and so they don't want, or they don't want to go through that, and so they end up with tools that are dull, and so it's not very much fun to use a tool that's dull. That's about right. Now I might take in some of this belly on it, but I just want to make sure that it's strong. It's a little skinny up there. I could wedge it. I don't like that. It's skinny. That's a try. That's not good. Maybe that in order to use it, I'll have to switch the sides, and I don't want to do that. But huh, I don't know how I ended up doing that. All right, we'll push it through. We'll see whether we'll do another one if we have to. I told y'all make mistakes happen. It's just like didn't. Huh. I think I just need to do this tenderly here. The length is just not right. That's the problem. It overlaps there, and I do not. That is not something I want. We'll do another handle if that's the case. Let's see how well his chisel works. Hey, look at that. Ron's chisel works well. It's already sharp. All right, we're gonna shave this down and get this rounded off, and then try it in in this gap here. And if it's too small front to back, we will have to make another handle, or I'll have to come up with a solution. Wedging is not a good idea, I think, from that angle. I'm hoping it's still good. We're going to round it off using chisels and gently, 100 likes, folks. Tap that like button. Yeah, no, I like power tools too. Power tools are it's nothing wrong with the guy who did my music for my last video, John Specker. He lives up in the mountains up there, and he's a fiddler. In case you listen to old time music, he's pretty famous for that. He lives up in the mountains of Vermont, and he's like, well, now I think I'm gonna go turn the hot pot on. I hate to do it. I'm like, what? It's a hot pot. You got to make yourself a cup of coffee or a cup of tea. Put the pot on. Don't worry about that, or whatever it was. It was some kind of a electrical device. I was like, it's okay to use some electricity, man. You know, we're not the ones that are the problem generally. Our use of electricity, our use of fossil fuels. Round that corner off there. Flip it over. Yes, axe. This axe head is made out of spring steel. It's hand forged by Ron. This is hand forged by Ron Lafleur up in Montreal, or not Montreal, in Quebec, not Montreal. That's a city. He made this out of spring steel, so it should be able to take, hit a what do you call it, like a piece of metal and not break up. Yeah, yeah, it's nice. I'm loving it, man. I'm loving it. Yeah, so he hand forged that on his live for me, and so I'm gonna make sure I treat it with the proper care and attention that it needs. Let's round off this other side here. I'm glad you do those. I used to be a music teacher. I was a music teacher for 17 years. Love music. We're going to do this just very gently and gracefully. We're going to curve this until we get to the. Now, problem is front to back here, we do not have enough wood, support wood, but we're going to, yeah. I mean, maybe it's going to have to be wedged somehow. I want to mimic this shape properly. I'm looking at the pencil marks in there. I'm just going to kind of match those pencil marks with my chisel and just take it slow. If I have to, I'll get the file out. I don't have a rasp here. I really need a rasp. I need to put one of those on my Amazon wish list. Maybe I would like to be zoomed in. I don't know. I don't want to mess with it. Just gracefully adding that curve just a little bit at a time. It's just not too much pressure on the chisel, going with that grain, which is real easy. Key to woodwork is using the weakness of the wood to your advantage when you are disassembling a piece or breaking a piece of wood down, and using the strength of the wood to your advantage when you're building a piece. If you can master those two concepts, you can be an excellent woodworker. Not looking too bad right there. That's our roundness there. Now I'm going to take it off the other side. I took too much. I can see right now where I took too much material off. I'm only going to take a little bit more off of here, just round it, because there's already too little support wood there. What I got to do is I got to make like a hole right here so that when I put a wedge in there, the wedge doesn't split all the way down the cherry piece. Right now, my concern is I don't want to waste time either. I want to make sure that I like size the axe head properly. If I can size it and get this thing on here, then I can see whether a wedge will work. And I don't want to shape all of this beautiful stuff. Like I don't want to spend time making this thing pretty if the axe head's not going to fit, right? So let's do this side. It's a little long right there. It's going to fit more like right here, and then it's going to be real short. So let's keep it moving then. Fusion rocket. What? Nikki, welcome.
Um, well, first off, Ralph said, great video quality. You've gone a long way, my friend. Keep it up.
Thanks, man. Thank you, Ralph. Appreciate it. Yeah, it's all about the journey, not the destination. You know.
Lulu said, I've got two guitars and all the last keys hanging right behind me, and then I'll just whole claim I know what I'm doing with it. I need to get some extra racks. Two would love hand parts and then go big old.
Yeah, that would be a great idea to do that. That's a great idea. That's probably this was a coffee. This was an end table originally, and I dovetailed it so it sat nicely into these dovetails. But I put the dovetails. It was my design. I put the dovetails too close to the outside of the table, leaving not enough support wood. And so when there was any stress on the legs, which were braced, the stress caused those dovetails to snap out on the surface. So I love to design things myself, but you learn, what works and what doesn't and why, as you do it more and more. But I had carved the legs out. I think I used some of those legs to make your weight holders here in the corners, which there is a video about that too, making the weight rack. Some guy said, let me know in a year if that's still holding those weights. Well, more than a year later, still holding those weights. So happy about that. Oh, is that my glove? Me too. Yes, me too. I wish I'm glad it's the weekend, and I hope this cherry's not too brittle. I don't generally, it wasn't the cherry's fault though. It was the design of the piece. Cherry is a very strong wood. They won't give you it as the first wood to make a handle out of, but I've done it before, made handles out of cherry, which have been strong. And I've had a lot of strong pieces that were made out of cherry. It's a very, very hard wood, especially if it's straight grain. And this has a nice straight grain to it. Very little imperfections in this piece. Sometimes it's about the individual piece of wood you're using. Cherry can be burled and knotty, and because it's a short tree, it's a fruit tree, and it can get burled. It can get all these things that we like as woodworkers, but generally take away from that straight grain strength. But this piece right here has a very straight grain to it, and I don't think that's going to be I don't think brittleness should be a problem here with this. That's exactly right. Every day that you have a chance to experience this beautiful life is a wonderful thing. And I think I like there's a lot of ways of learning that, you know, but it can be tough. I'm not going to sit here and say every moment is awesome, but it is the journey, man. If you're enjoying the journey, I told Heather recently, I was like, with YouTube and with all these things, if you're always trying to get more famous or more money, you'll never be satisfied. If you can enjoy like that and accept that this may be as good as it gets, you're in good shape. Looks like I froze. Did I freeze? No? Okay. Looks all right up there. Just made. I think it was made out of railroad spikes. No. It was made out of like automotive springs. The axe head, like on my wall, that's like 100 years old. That's a very old tool. This one's just made, so this is brand new, but it's hand forged, so it looks, antique. Has an antique look to it. If Ron was still up in here, I'm sure he left a while ago, but as a furniture maker, cherry is one of my favorite woods. Just behind walnut, love that walnut. Have a walnut slab back there. Don't know when I'm gonna use it, because it's the last. I had these long, 12-foot long antique old growth walnut boards that I totally misused over my career, my early career as a woodworker. Uh, but I have a little bit left, so it's not all gone. Oh, Ron's in here. Hey, Ron. So that's the guy who made the axe head right there, guys. That's the guy who made the hatchet head. Check out his page. Yeah, it's almost. We almost got it ready here. I almost might be. My problem is front to back. It just looks a little small. I might just kind of cinch it down a bit. We'll see. Nah, Jason, pine is not good to make a handle out of. Maybe if you have longleaf pine, but that's a very rare kind of pine that you're not going to probably get your hands on. Longleaf pines is probably harder than some hardwoods. I can show you some of that. I have some of that here, but it's almost extinct in the wild. Uh, I have some boards that are made out of it, traditional 2x4s, uh, and it needs to be straight grained and um, these aren't very good examples. This right here. All right, this is a traditional 2x4 right here. Well, it's been cut up a bit, but this is made out of longleaf pine. You see, they used to say the redder the better. You see how it's actually 2x4 inches. This used to be part of a bed that I made years and years ago. But you see how it's very small. The gaps, the rings came in small. This longleaf pine would grow only a matter of millimeters every year. The Europeans were a scourge to our longleaf pine and built all of their ships and their ship decking out of it. When they didn't use teak, they used longleaf pine. So it's basically gone in the wild. But pine, that would be the only kind of pine I would recommend. Otherwise, you end up with a broken handle. Yep. Glad he popped back in. Glad he popped back in. When I saw him doing this, I was so psyched. I mean, I'm glad that it finally got me. I told Ron, do not rush. Take your time. Do the stuff you need to do. I never tell people to rush stuff when they're trying to make something for me. The number one thing you don't want to do with crafts is rush them. Don't ever think, especially woodworking. People want to do woodwork that they can finish overnight. Uh, it's not important to finish a project in a day. What is important is to finish the project right. I'm going to pare down some of that side there. This may have to be remade. We'll see. Even myself, I catch myself going too fast on stuff sometimes. And these hardwoods dull your tools quicker too. I love pine. Pine and like longleaf pine. I like uh what's that stuff come from Washington? What do you call that? Douglas fir. I like some common wood. I like southern yellow pine. Those are some of my favorite woods to work with. But as handles, they're not good. You need a con like a deciduous like strong tree like that. And sometimes hardwood is a misnomer. They're not all super hard uh, and strong. So you have to be careful what you pick. Maple's good. Hickory, walnut can be good. I don't know that I would use walnut as a handle. They probably sell some limited hardwoods at like the big box store. If you can't find yeah, Douglas fir, they probably have some hardwood around there, like in the expensive section. Get you one board and laminate it, like cut it in half and laminate it so that you got a nice thick piece to work with. Laminate it tight, put a whole bunch of clamps on there. Laminating is a big skill when it comes to wood. If you can laminate stuff, you can make stuff happen. Watch my video and or any of my lives on building the bunk bed with traditional joinery, which I did for the last year before I started doing animal processing. I was building a bunk bed, uh, two bunk beds I built with all joinery, no metal fasteners, and most of those were built with available materials, 2x4s, and I laminated them to make bigger beams because I don't have access to, like Ron's got a mill. Yeah, red oaks. It's if you can find you a couple boards of any kind of a harder wood, red oak would work as a handle. It's a little heavy, but it's fine for a smaller handle. My dad has a bunch of bitter nut hickory in his woods. Hickory is a great handle material. Hickory, like pecan, will move a lot. They're basically the same type of wood. Um, Essentially, that just hickory sometimes doesn't produce the same kind of. Well, no, it does produce nuts. I ate one of those bitter nut hickory nuts a while ago. It wasn't bad. It didn't taste bitter to me at all. It tasted like a pecan. You just had to take all the little crap out of there. My dad's forest is full of those, so that's the best. If I was going to go out and source it in the wild, that would be the choice I would use out there. Oh yeah, we're getting closer now. We're getting close. I will say that if you ever watch my live stream, I say we're getting closer. It's one of my like my line. Happy to be doing woodwork again. It's been a while. It's like an old friend, you know. I want these curves to kind of be bend gracefully, but for now, I'm just trying to get the axe head on. Feel very blessed to have all of you here. Very thankful. So please take note of that. I don't take you for granted. If you chose to be here, I'm so thankful that you did, and you're here for a reason. So I'm glad you're here watching. If you are thinking about going into some kind of craft and this is inspiring you, awesome. That's what I'm here to do. And I want to encourage you, you can learn anything. You can learn it. Immerse yourself in it. Take it seriously. Don't quit. Keep at it, and you'll learn it. Listen to the people who know what they're doing too. Don't take it personally when they correct you. This is actually nice and rounded. It's almost as if it was made to be an axe handle. It's a tradition, man. You know, I have some of my great grandfather's tools in here in this shop, and we could be anywhere right now. Feel the love coming for 200 people now, and know that you're appreciated, my man. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I am. I'm glad y'all are here with me, enjoying this beautiful moment where I'm able to take something and craft it by myself. My hands work. I'm not in a hospital. I'm not hurting. I'm not hungry. You know, I'm here able to be on YouTube live. Like I'm so blessed. A lot of people in the world don't have this. So hey, My number one. Hey guys, want to let you know that you are now a part of my best live stream ever. Thank you so much for coming. I just want to let y'all know I'm very appreciative of that. This is my number one live stream of all time. I mean, we probably eclipsed 83,000 views, right?
Well, number 3 was 83, and number 2 and number 1 were at 88.
Okay.
Over 91K.
Yeah, we're at 90. We're over 91K views right now, guys. So we're crushing it right now. Stick around, man. Let me see if I can get this axe head on here. What's that? It's 20 was the last one it said. I don't have to go forever, but yeah. Oh, he said a whole bunch of nice stuff. Thank y'all. Levi Warnos, welcome, welcome, welcome. Right now, what I'm doing, Levi, is I'm actually fitting this hand forged hatchet head to this handle that I just made. So thank you for being here. This is my best live stream ever. So you just popped in on the right live stream, in my opinion. Now this is a little bit on the small side. I'm gonna try to cinch it down a bit. I'm gonna take a little more meat off of these long sides here, and then we'll see if we can cinch it down a bit, and it'll still have, um, it looks a little clunky at the moment. Not gonna lie, but I'm not worried about that so much. We can always make it more elegant. It actually probably could be filed, rasped, or sanded on either side at this point. It's not a lot of material. Let me see. I got some pretty thick sandpaper back here somewhere. Mm-hmm. Who is in the background? That is Miss Heather B. That you see in the chat. She comes in to tell me when people say stuff that I miss. She's my producer. You know, that's all she does. She just produces, just strictly business. Like I don't find her attractive at all. Psych, that's not true at all. I do find her very attractive. Kevin says, hello, Calvin. Sorry I'm late. I couldn't agree more with the previous statements. This YouTube channel is one of the best to watch. Thank you, Kevin. I saw your comment on the video, too. I very much appreciate that, Kevin. Shout out, Kevin. All right, let's see. I wonder, could it go the other way on, too? That might be the ticket. Oh, yeah, that's the way. Or is that upside? That's upside down. That's upside down, right? Does it matter? It doesn't feel right like that. Problem is, the hole here on the bottom is actually smaller than the hole on this side. So what I might need to do is actually grind it a little. Keep this as the top. It's gonna have a little English to it, man. But this right here, what I got is, I guess that may be on purpose. Maybe he did that on purpose. Because what what does it look like? It looks like a bird, like it's some type of bird. Get that thing all the way in there, and then get it wedged is what it needs to be. I think I'm going to. I don't want to break anything. I don't think that'll happen. Let's see if I can kind of mallet this on here. This is like a rubber mallet, metal mallet type situation here. But I'm going to find a piece of wood to put between and pray that my toes don't get smushed here. I just need a little piece of some kind of buffer wood here. This is ash. I'll use this. I don't want to hit my mallet against the metal and break it. So just working these sides a bit here, and then I'll probably take this in a little bit. Maybe that's where I should work at. This is the chisel Ron made me too. It's already like works. See? Look at that. Already takes material off. His like factory edge is already good enough to do that. See that? That's the other piece. Like I have not touched. Oh, maybe I did. Maybe I put it against the diamond stone for a second inside, but no, it came pretty much this sharp. Ron LaFleur, man, a master of his craft. We are getting pretty close to wrap time here, guys. I know you guys want to go watch football and all of that. You got to get the 7-layer dip ready. I'm sure all you guys got guys coming over and your wives are totally fine with it, you know. Glad y'all could be here for a historic Dad's Workshop Day. Out of all the 300 and some live streams that we've ever run, this is the best one. We've done over 91,000 views today. Please do subscribe to the channel. Finally, just finished boiling down my bark tannins. All right, now let them sit in there. Don't pour them in boiling hot. Don't pour them into that beaver hide boiling hot. You got to either mix them with some cool water. And also, when you first start tanning, you know, don't put them in the strong tanning bath first. Give them a little diluted mixture. I have a short on it. Check that out. I just don't want you to case harden those hides. In case you all don't know what we're talking about tanning hides here. Y'all see how smooth that curve is? It's almost as if it went on a lathe. So we're getting there, guys. It may be a different approach that I take. This is actually the right kind of handle. I'll take more material from this bottom part. I'll do a little more on this today. I think probably I'll take a little from down here so I can move that thing down a bit. Yeah, let that cool a bit and consider diluting it if it's really, really strong. But typically that's not a problem. But when you put your new skins into a tannin, people just generally take the precaution of not putting too strong a tannin bath in there to start out with, because there's this thing called case hardening. You don't want that to happen. But so just as a precaution, put a little diluted. And the way that you could do that is if it's still hot, you can add some cool water in there and then put your tannin bath, your tannin liquor in there and let it kind of mix with the cooler water. If you can stick your hand in it, it's cool enough. If it's still, you know, pretty hot, but you can put your hand down in it, that's the rule of thumb that they say. You're okay if you can do that. Like, you see how you made that the oak bark? What is the color of it? Is it dark red? Is it nice and dark red? You're probably fine, man. Just throw it in there and don't listen to me. Case hardening is really rare. Most of the problem is people don't put strong enough bark liquor in there, and I don't want to give you bad advice. I think you're probably fine. One of my videos, you'll see me like mixing it with water because they have us all scared of case hardening leather, which basically locking out tannins. You know, dark reddish brown. You're good, man. Yeah, they'd say, "I'm gonna tan your hide." I think my mom would say that too. I definitely had teachers and stuff tell me that when I was younger, that they were gonna tan my hide. I'd be like, "What? What does that mean?" Now I know, because I've tanned a few hides. You know what I mean? Got my own 3 sons, so I've definitely tanned a few hides. I'm proud of the work we've done already today. This is turning out. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was a little worried I wouldn't do it. I think it's gonna work. Yeah, that's true. Tanning, hardening their character. That's true. It is hardening leather. It does make tanning. It makes hard structural leather. And I think I had a board with that on here. So I was doing that earlier. Bark tan raccoon that I have. We do a lot of primitive stuff here. It's not all primitive, but they like make you tough. I'm gonna make you learn to do things the way I want you to do. Tanning a hide is manipulating something. You know, it's the ultimate act of making something out of what it used to be a living animal too. You're creating something that you're going to wear, and you want it to do exactly what you want it to do, right? I should take like oil and put it on this so people can see. Oh, guys, look at this tanning. This is an oak gall right here with I put some steel wool in there, right? Look at how black that is. I think I can use that to dye leather black, and we'll see. Or I can definitely use it to like ebonize this handle if I wanted to make this handle black. You're gonna listen or you're gonna feel. Either way. Like you're gonna listen or you're gonna know. Either way you want it. My dad would say, listen and listen good. That's what he would say. And I knew it was time to stop. I think I'm just pushing it back in the vise. That's probably where we're going to stop for today, awesome ladies and gentlemen. Best crowd I've ever had in my entire 300 some live stream video career. Check out that long form video down at the bottom that I have on my experience over the last 2 months tanning hides. I want to shout out Ron LaFleur. I want to shout out New Roots and Kevin for coming in. Jason, all of the new friends we made today. Levi, shout out. Uh, shout out to Mike and shout out to the maker of this axe head, Ron LaFleur, up there at Homemade 1970. New Roots. Shout out to Ralph Scullin from up there in Western New York. Ricker. Shout out to Ricker and thanks for the gift, Ricker. And anybody else I missed along the way. Carrie Frasca, supporter of the program, longtime supporter. Thank you, Carrie. Anybody else I missed along the way, I'm apologetic. I love you and I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Make sure you do subscribe to the channel. Consider becoming a member by hitting that little dollar sign down in the bottom corner and becoming a supporter of the channel. Yeah, man. I'll make my I will. I will enjoy that 7 layer dip. I'm gonna hang out for just one more minute while I shave this down. We're close to 100K. I would feel good if we get there. So let's shave this down a little bit more. Thank you for being here. Don't leave just yet. We'll do a little bit more here and get to our 100K. So that number looks better, right? Probably won't take very long to get there, man. So thankful, so grateful. That's all I'm just gratitude. Hopefully, it probably won't be too long. Just a couple minutes at these numbers. I need to take this in a little. Needs to like come back, I think, a bit here, like in this area here. That's not the way the grain wants to go, though. I enjoy this immensely. It's very satisfying to do stuff like this. Cooking, doing woodwork, making leather, doing leather work, sewing, crocheting, whatever your craft is, whatever craft you picked. I can't, if you're blind, I'm sure there's some craft. I'm sure there's a craft that there's that people who can't see or are visually impaired can do. I don't know why I thought of that, but it just came to my mind that all of those things I mentioned require really good eyesight. So I want to take it in right here. I might even take a file and actually file it in because the hole on the top here, which is right, I think that's Ron did that on purpose so that I could insert a wedge basically. Newbert says having a craft to keep your hands busy is one of the healthiest things you can do for your body and mind. Yeah, like every day I exercise, right? I get up in the morning, and unless I'm sick or unless I'm injured, I go out and I run and I try to stretch. I haven't been very good about that recently. I need that. Learning what you need to function at your best is like part of life. Learning what the things are that you need, understanding your own body. What do I need to function at my very best? What makes me 100% makes me shine? You know, we got to our 100K goal, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, everybody, for being here at Dad's Workshop. My name is Calvin. Thanks to Ron for these beautiful tools. Also, thank you to Wes Does It for his beautiful knife. Let me show you all that. I'm going to work on actually making a leather piece to go with this, like a leather scabbard. But that's going to come in the future. Got to make a video for him. Mail call. So shout out Wes Does It. So thank you to all of my friends. This is amazing. Like I don't deserve this, but I appreciate it, and I'm not going to turn it down. I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much for being here. Subscribe. Check out that video that you see down at the bottom. This is the best live stream in the history of Dad's Workshop, and there are more than a few and more than a dozen. So it's not a little thing. Thank you all so much for being here. I love you all. Do the next right thing. This is Dad's Workshop. We're working on this handle for this axe right now. We do woodwork. We make leather. We do all kinds of things. Check us out. Check out my friends. Take care. Have a great rest of your weekend. I will see you all. I will be here on Monday. I will see you all on Monday. Take care now.